Yeah, so from here, this is the next place that me and my wife were sent to, in which we're currently residing at now. I and my wife have been here. My little baby's been here about maybe 2 years at this time. And the same thing has happened. They've transferred our information over here to this area, and the same thing is happening. I and my family are leaving out. They're texting people my information around the city, texting my information in and out of the building, the people and residents that live within this building. While we're living in this building, our mail has been broken into. It's a repetitive issue. We brought it to our lawyer currently on more than one occasion, and she's also stated that her office is not sending me mail that's open and that's already open. So we have this place where we're currently staying breaking into our mail, while at the same time giving my information to the people within the building with chemical dependencies. While living here, they've sent ACS to I and my family house twice. Once was on September 11th, I think 2023, and the next time they sent was on Halloween Day. So like this is what the type of stuff these guys do. They play around with people's lives like this. Maybe a couple of months ago, for some awkward reason, I had a small little bank account, and they found some way to go into my bank account. Coincidentally, less than 2 weeks after my bank account was broken into, mysteriously my food stamps case was broken into, and somebody's using my case over in Texas. This issue was supposed to have been resolved since last month. Before, I think maybe about the last 2 or 3 months, my money's been consistently being stolen from my card. And this is not an issue with my identity being broken into. This is something that I had to go and file income taxes on. But it would make sense that things like this would happen when you have a city where all kind of criminals and people with chemical dependencies are giving your personal information, and there's nobody investigating these things, these issues that are happening. So yeah, that's currently what's going on now. While residing at this residence, we've had our mail broken into twice. Like somebody's actually within their staff is breaking into our mail. Along with, we've gotten reports that I've made threats towards people within this facility that's been leaving out of this facility with my information, texting my information, bringing verbal assaults to me. We've also received paperwork that stated that there was some sort of issue that was caused with a fire. I don't understand. I and my wife woke up to a fire within the building that residents on our floor had caused. We notified the FDNY. So this has been the maliciousness that's being done, and it's over about 8 people within the building that coordinate with the staff, harassing me and my wife and my little baby, and they think that nothing can happen. There's no justice that can happen at all. Within this community, they utilize little vans that just go around and harass us. It's like a neighborhood game, and they're acting like as if me and my family have to accept being bullied. And if we do anything to defend ourselves, they send paperwork, they get the police to try to come together in teams and in groups to make it an okay thing to harass people, intimidate people, and try to take people's children and harm people's children. Within the next week, I'll be bringing the face of everybody that's out here that takes part in it, because I want my justice. Also, I want an inquiry into tortious interference from all of these things that have been happening. Yeah, that's it. So that's currently the issue. Currently, this has been a second month that whoever's coordinating these games, the same way they've been coordinating these games with the Department of Homeless Services and whoever in the Public Assistance Office. This has been a situation that's going on over and over again. Mysteriously, someone's finding a way to take my information, and then we're notifying them, and they're notifying us that this issue is done. And then it's happening repetitively over and over and over again. So I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to get some closure to that. Also, we have the staff or whoever the security is within this building that we're staying in. They're breaking into my mail. Alongside with, of course, sending ACS to my door on 2 occasions for things that were found unfounded. Once on September 11th. The next was on Halloween. Whoever is working this game, it appears whoever is working down at Public Assistance is giving these criminals my information, because coincidentally, at the same time that my bank account was was needed for some reason by HRA to be looked into for whatever reason. At the same time, about a week later, my stamp case was broken into, or somebody, using my stamps in my public assistance case. I have a lawyer that's already dealing with this, and this is 2 months, and mysteriously the same is happening again. Somebody all the way in Texas, or whatever that is, has found a way again, while this is happening, to once again break into my stuff. It's kind of like weird to me, because how people went into my account at my bank. It's funny how people could see things that had nothing to do with the city. But this is something that's going on with the city that's happening again for the consecutive month. So this is money that's being taken from my daughter. This is my daughter's stamp money. This is my daughter's money. On top of, since we've been here, we've paid thousands already in lawyers that we've had to get for our daughter, because these people have brought these situations to our door. Also, the area that we live in, before we were sent out here, I'm guessing, or I would assume, if anybody would study the YouTube channels, that these people, I guess, were either moved out here deliberately around me and my family, or we were moved in the area that they were moved into. But for whatever reason, the same people that we were having an issue with in the last shelter, I don't know, for some reason we moved over here in LIC Queens, and they live over here within a 6 block radius. We're having the same problems. So this has been a consistent issue that's going on and on and on. People breaking into my mail, people breaking in, utilizing my personal identification, people finding a way to utilize my food stamp case and different things and breaking and stuff. So this is everybody's face. This is everybody that's down with it. And hopefully, we could get something done about the situation. Hopefully, if there is a such thing as law. Because, I think it's a very cowardly thing for it to be me, my wife, and a little baby, and to have 8 people in the building harassing us. And if I go outside and put my hands on any of these bastards for what they did in playing these games with my family, I have 7 people come outside and try to create this lie as if I'm crazy, so that they can get away with trying to get my little four-year-old baby at that time taken out of my life. I think these people deserve justice. Every last one of them that took part in this deserve justice. And hopefully I'll be getting the faces out of everybody that takes part in it. And this has been something that they are doing every day. They make like a little game. They try to bully you and your family. And then when you punch them in the eye, they go 50 deep and bring a bunch of people out and then have you go into court and stuff for situations they're creating with you. And they're getting along with this. The staff is getting along with them, just like all the previous documentation has shown. These people warp some sort of game where they mess people's lives up. They bring you into the shelter system so that they can do things like this to you. Me and my wife never entered the shelter system because I didn't pay my rent or anything of that nature. We came into the shelter system due to our home being broken into, not paying in that particular facility because of unsafe reasons, moving to another place in which we resided with someone and I paid in that home, and that person deciding to let a complete stranger they didn't know come into their home. Everything is documented in my YouTube, and hopefully we can get some closure on it, and I want all my money back. That's it. All my time that was invested in this. I finished this case when I was 19 years old. For some reason, I still have people running around with my information to me, my wife, and my little baby from Phoenix House. I finished Phoenix House when I was 19 years old for a case that I caught when I was 14 that I never did. I want my money for this particular location that I'm in, for allowing for people to run around with my information, drug addicts, people with chemical dependencies, and criminals to text my information and try to make it as if me and my family are actually living in some sort of a program when they're probably actually in a program. I want compensation for that. I want compensation for giving my information to people for over 21 years and having them stalk me. I want compensation for that. I want compensation for all the money spent on lawyers for these false charges that was sent to my home. I want compensation for my mail being broken into. I want compensation for all tortious interference that has taken place.